Hello, this is Simon from Custodes Miniature Painting Studio. I'd like to welcome you to our Commission Army Showcase. Let's do a quick summary before we start. Today we're going to see 9 Custodian Guards, 4 Custodian Wardens, 4 Virtus Praetors, Shield Captain on Jetbike, Vexillus Praetor, 8 Allarus Custodians, Contemptor Achillus Dreadnought, Caladius Graph Tank, and Trajann Valoris. Most of the commission was painted on our second level of quality, Champion, with the exception of Allarus Custodes and Trajann Valoris, which are painted on our third quality level, the Overlord. Most of the force was painted in Solar Watch scheme, with the exception of Custodian Wardens, which are painted as Shadowkeepers. The whole commission is based on microart studio basis. Well, let's start our summary with the Custodian Guards. They are initially separated into the squads of 3 guys. I have them all here for the sake of this summary. So let's start with some of my favorite poses, like this one, for example. This guy is equipped with a Storm Shield and Sentinel Blade. And here we can see how clean and nice is the Solar Watch scheme. Let's go to the other guy, who is clearly waiting in a defensive stance. Again, some Storm Shield, Sentinel Blade, and this beautiful white, almost white scheme. We have also some guys with the Guardian Spears, like this one, taking a swing. He has Guardian Spear and the Misericordia. This scheme is really popping out from the initial basis scheme, which is like old temple ruins and some leaves on it. Let's take another one with very custodian-like pose, like he's pointing at something or shooting it, or maybe he's finishing a large swing. Also Guardian Spear and the Misericordia on this guy, and another example of the beautiful Solar Watch scheme. Next squad is the Custodian Wardens, the only squad painted in the Shadowkeepers scheme. They are all equipped with the Castellan Axes and Misericordias. And yeah, this is probably the most fun and favorite sculpt in this whole commission. The Custodian is clearly threatening something, or pointing grudges, or just, I don't know, extending Emperor's will, I guess. Here we have one taking a swing with his axe. Really nice black scheme with some red accents and obvious gold. They look really unique among the almost white commission. Here we have another one waiting to advance, perhaps. And the last one, he's probably reaching to take his Misericordia out and finish something off, as he should do. Okay, so what we have next is the squad of 4 Virtus Praetors. They are all having Hurricane Bolters, Interceptor Lances, and Misericordias. They are helmeted as well. Let me take this guy up close to you. This is really nice dynamic sculpt with the nice proportions, and the jet bikes are pretty awesome. I'm already seeing those being used for some other miniatures, maybe not exactly the Custodians, but maybe even some Traitor Legions. Let's take this guy as well. Those miniatures are not glued to their flying stands, because we need to obviously ship them, and if we do ship them on their flying stands, they will came in pieces, which is of course a no-no. And there is one character accompanying them, and this is the Shield Captain on a Down Eagle jet bike. The only thing that separates him from the rest is this little piece of cloth here on his shoulder pad. Other than that, he's like a standard Virtus Praetor. Nonetheless, really nice example of our second level of quality on some cavalry or maybe bike units, so to speak. Next we have the Vexillus Praetor, which is a special miniature sculpted using, maybe not sculpted but converted, using the spare Custodian Warden and Shield Captain's cloak, which was the idea. He's holding Castellan Axe and of course the Vexilla. And this is an example of a character painted on second level of quality, which is already something astonishing. As you can see, all clean, highlighted, with even shadows, and very neat paint job. We are approaching the Overlord level quality infantry, which is of course Allarus Custodians. Custodians have Castellan Axes, Misericordias and Ballistus grenade launchers, and they are all helmeted. And they were made on our third quality level, the Overlord, as was asked. And this is the level that really, highlights all the extra bits and gimmicks those Custodians have. I mean, all Custodians are already very detailed and ornamented miniatures, but those guys are even more. Okay, I hope you can see it. Let me catch the focus in a minute. Yeah, so we have 8 of those guys, and they're all painted on in the Solar Watch scheme, as you can obviously see. We have another miniature painted on our Overlord level quality, which is Trajann Valoris. He's the well-known hero of the Custodians, and he's also painted in the Solar Watch scheme. And just look at this skin of a lion on his back. Look at this Aquila highlighted using metallic paints, which is not so easy on such surfaces as the cloak. He's just amazing. Okay, so let's go to some vehicles then. Yeah, so we are almost done with our commission summary. What we have here as a cherry at top of a cake, it's the Caladius Graph Tank with the twin Elastus accelerator cannon and 2 Lastrum bolt cannons on the front piston. He's painted in the Solar Watch scheme. He's pretty heavy. I'm gonna lift it in a minute, just give me a second. Okay, so this is a grab tank, so obviously he's hovering above the ground. The gold pieces are a really nice addition, and the base was not really available to be bought from the Microlite Studios, so we sculpted it to resemble the original scheme. We have some OSL, we have some highlights, and the nicest feature, for me at least, is this. The magnetized turret. Which allows you to transport this baby safely to its destination. And he's painted on our second quality level, the Champion. I'm sure you already know what I'm gonna show you right now. This is the Achilles Contemptor Dreadnought, and he's glued like he's in the middle of the jump, which is not so easily done with the Dreadnought, of course. But the Achilles Dreadnought set from the Forge World is very dynamic, and with all those parts you get to for the gluing, you can really make some amazing poses without much of a hassle with the conversions. So he has 2 Lastrum Strombolters and the Achilles Dread Spear. let me show the spear so you can see the highlights yourself. And he's painted on our second quality level champion. So with this done, let's go to another vehicle in this commission. So I have a choice of my favorite miniatures in this commission, so let's give them a quick shout out. This is the obvious knife threatening Custodian Warden. Hilarious accent in the whole commission. The next would be the defensive stand Custodian Guard. Awesome, very dynamic pose. Of course, the Trajann Valoris in his new Solar Watch scheme. Really nice centerpiece of an army. And a great commander, no doubt. And the jumping Achilles Contemptor Dreadnought with his spear ready to slash some heretics. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned those scrolls. They are already known, but I'm sure you're gonna see it on photo shooting. So this wraps up our today's commission. Please leave a like if you like what we're doing here. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from our studio, and if you're fancying yourself some commission, we are always open. Just visit us at our website castlebrash.eu and use the contact form, or simply write to us at the office castlebrash.eu. Stay safe, see you after this pandemic stops.